Hey guys, it's Izzy here, and today we are going to be looking at my August TBR, so all the books that I would like to read in the month of August. Let's get into it. August, I am still doing like a summer vacation where with my mood reading, I'm just reading whatever I want. I'm basically just reading the new books that I buy in the month. That is just what I'm currently doing. But let's get into the actual TBR list. So if you saw my Instagram post, I had Straight Into Darkness by Faye Kellerman. I read 59% of that and ended up DNFing it. Just could not get into it. It wasn't for me, but that was originally on my TBR because my TBR is usually about 5 books, so just be aware that that was on my TBR. And since I did read over half of it, it is still counting towards my reading goal of 82 books, I think it is, so it's still there. So the book that I started today is a YA fantasy, and it is The Candle and the Flame by Azad, is all I'm seeing. I'm not remembering the first name, but this is a YA fantasy set in the Middle East, and I am definitely going to have to switch to the audiobook for this. I am at 4%, I don't know if I said that, which is only 17 pages, the prologue and the first 2 chapters, but I am just struggling getting into it. It's kind of similar to my thing with Straight Into Darkness, is that was very German, and then this, I'm like, in a whole new culture I'm not familiar with in the slightest. At least Germany was somewhere I have traveled to before, but with this, I'm like, I don't know if we're in the real world or not, so hopefully the world building does get better. But let me tell y'all what it is about. This is what it's about. I'm just going to read it off of Goodreads on my phone. So Fatima lives in the city of Noor, a thriving stop along the Silk Road. There, the music, a myriad of languages, fills the air, and people of all faiths weave their lives together. However, the city bears scars of its recent past, when the chaotic tribe of Shayateen Dinjan slaughtered its entire population except for Fatima and 2 other humans. Now ruled by a new Mahajar, Noor is protected from the Shayateen by the Ifrit Dinjan of order and reason, and by their commander Zulfikar. But when one of the most potent of the Ifrit dies, Fatima is changed in ways she cannot fathom, ways that scare even those who love her. Ode in hand, Fatima is drawn into the intrigues of the Maharaja and his sister, the affairs of Zulfikar and the Dinjan, the dangers of the magical battlefield. So that is a description of what it is about. As I said, I am going to switch to the audiobook. It's really my ignorance that is playing a part of me not really getting a good understanding of what I've read so far, so hopefully switching to the audiobook will fix that for me. Next, I'm going to be reading a romance novel, so I don't have it here because it is an ebook, but I do have the name, and that is Happy Hour. Can't remember the author's name, but again, I will insert a picture of the cover on the screen. Everything's kind of falling apart over here. So we have our main character who, her last name is literally my last name, but spelled differently. Sway Rains, I think is the name, and she is a track owner's daughter. This is like a racing romance. So she is a track owner's daughter, and she's always been friends with this one guy, and now it's his rookie year in NASCAR, and I cannot remember. Was it Jamie? One of those James kind of names. I remember it says like a gritty rookie driver, and they fall in love. Even they've known each other their whole lives. And it's just with his first year of racing and Cup, I'm assuming, and her being a track owner's daughter. I don't know what track, but yeah, so romance. Now we have a historical fiction pick, and that is one that, if y'all remember back in 2019, I was really excited for this book, and I still haven't got to it 3 years later, but we are finally going to get to it this month, and that is Mrs. Everything by Jennifer Weiner. So let's see what it is about. So Joe and Bethy Kaufman were born into a world full of promise. Growing up in the 1950s Detroit, they live in the perfect Dick and Jane house. Did y'all read Dick and Jane novels when you were kids? Like, learn to read? I did, but okay. Where their roles in the family are clearly defined. Joe is the tomboy, the bookish rebel with a passion to make the world more fair, where Bethy is pretty, feminine, good girl, a would-be star who enjoys the power her beauty confers and dreams of a traditional life. Like, I would love, like, my favorite characters are like a mix of those two, so just having those two kind of characters together, I think that would be intriguing, or it will be intriguing. So then, in her most ambitious novel yet, Jennifer Weiner tells a story of two sisters who, with their different dreams and different paths, offer answers to the question, how should a woman be in the world? So this is going to be like a feminist story, of is there a right way to be a woman, which I think the obvious answer is no, you're just yourself. And I think obviously this book will probably lead that way, but I have been reading a lot of 1950s books lately now that I'm noticing it. I read Lessons in Chemistry last month, and it even has like similar colors on the cover, so that's interesting. But it's a time period that I have been reading more from, and this is in Detroit. I've never been to Detroit. I love their pizza though, and I really want to go one day because I want to go to the Ford Museum. I don't know if it's actually in Detroit, but Detroit Rock City, I have to go to Comerica Ballpark, is it still called that, but I have to go there too. So Detroit, you're somewhere I will go one day, and this book will hopefully just fill that FOMO right now. We have my 5-star prediction of the month, and that is Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. So this is kind of a companion novel to Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, but you don't have to read that to understand this. But some of the characters you see in Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo will be featured in Malibu Rising. So these are the 3 children of Mick Rivas, I think was his name. Yeah, Mick Rivas. So this is in Malibu, August 1983. So Mick had 3 children, and they are having a party for the end of the summer, and the house is burnt down by the end of it. So basically we have Nina, the talented surfer supermodel, brothers Jay and Hud. Oh, there's more than 3. My bad. There's 4. But brothers Jay and Hud, one a championship surfer and the other a renowned photographer, and their adored baby sister Kit. So together the siblings are a source of fascination in Malibu and the world over, especially as the offspring of legendary singer Mick Riva. To me, Mick Riva is based on Mick Jagger. I don't know if he actually is, but in my head, that's like what I was imagining. But okay, so Malibu Rising is a story about one unforgettable night in the life of a family. The night they each have to choose what they will keep from the people who made them and what they will leave behind. So I love how Taylor Jenkins Reid, like all her books are connected, and her new book that is coming out this month is a companion novel to this one based on a character that is in this book. I have it pre-ordered even though I haven't even read this book, but I was like, yes. But I really, really want to know, does Daisy Jones and the Six take place in the same universe? I would love for it to, so maybe we get answers in Taylor Jenkins Reid's new book, and I think this will be a really good August read because it is summery, and didn't say August? Yeah, August 1983, so perfect timing to be picking up this book. I did want to talk about just some of my current reads. So my current mood read is Book Lovers by Emily Henry. So this is about a book editor, and then I'm not exactly sure what the female character is, but she works somewhere in the publishing world. So it's kind of like an enemies to lover. They work together, don't like each other, but then meet on vacation in this small town in North Carolina. And so I just love books that are about books. And then in North Carolina setting, I couldn't pass it up. So be sure to check out my reading vlogs because I will be talking about this book there and all these other books as well. My ebook is a carryover from July, and that is Voyager by Diana Gabaldon. So this is the 3rd book in the Outlander series. I don't know how well y'all can see that, but I am annotating as I read along. I basically just read this if I don't hit 100 pages read in the day. I will pick this up just to add more page numbers because I am really strict about the number of pages I read in a day. But some days I'm just too tired and don't pick it up. Those things happen, but I am enjoying this. I do think the book is better than the show for this one anyway. But it is still going to be like a 4-star. This just isn't my favorite time in the Outlander series. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, comment, rate, and subscribe, and don't forget to ring that notification bell to be notified when all my videos go live. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!